Tonight on The Local Live, we review the best of 2018. Good evening. It's Thursday, December 27th. I'm Sibylla Chipaziwa.
And I'm Sebastian Hall, and welcome to the Local Live Year in Review show.
Let's start right at the top of the year, where George Latimer, then Westchester's newly inaugurated county executive, stopped by for a live roundtable. That also turned out to be the Local Live's 200th show.
Good evening. It's Thursday, January 11th. I'm Michael Witch, and welcome to the Local Live. Tonight, we're celebrating our 200th show. I've got proclamations from the villages and the town and Westchester County and the state of New York. Today, January 11th, 2018, is LMC TV and the Local Live Day.
And George, thank you for joining us on this, our 200th show. You've given us a lovely proclamation declaring this LMC TV's The Local Live Day.
In the county of Westchester.
From the county.
It's a wonderful day and it's a great accomplishment. This is a terrific program.
Hi, this is Nancy Seligson, Supervisor of the Town of Mamaroneck, and I'm very pleased to congratulate LMC TV on their Local Live show for its 200th airing and episode. It's a great achievement and a great accomplishment. It's wonderful to have a live show in our community for exciting television. But I also want to congratulate LMC TV in total for all of the work that they do to keep us up to date in our community with all the coverage they provide for activities, meetings, and decisions that are made in our community. And I have a proclamation from the town board to say thank you to LMC TV and congratulations to the Local Live on their 200th show.
LMC TV for their 200th Local Live. I've said this before, when I was first on the board in 2001, the first 3 seats at the board meeting used to be occupied by journalists who were actually writing articles about the meeting. If you could take a shot at this room tonight, there's no media here. Thank God we have LMC TV to reach out to the community. Resolved, I, Thomas A. Murphy, Mayor of the Village of Mamaroneck, do hereby declare January 11, 2018 as LMC TV's The Local Live Day. In the Village of Mamaroneck, encourage all citizens to express their gratitude to LMC TV and The Local Live, whose top priority is keeping us informed.
You just saw 4 other important faces there. Thank you to the 3 municipalities we cover for your support of the show and LMC TV. Also, a big thank you to the ever so stylish Maura Carlin and always camera ready Mike Witch for their time on set and behind the scenes. Remember that you can watch this and all of our other full shows on our YouTube page, www.youtube.com/thelocallive.
In mid-April, Sevilla and I took the reins of the show after the departure of Sheila Navarro and Kat Galliano. We also said goodbye to the father of the Local Live, former LMC TV CEO Eric Lewis.
Now I would like to formally announce that this is my last day as LMC TV News Director of the Local Live. It has been almost 5 years in this journey, and all I want to do is thanks to all the people that support the Local Live since its beginning. Thanks to Christina Carino Forrest and to Dina Schumacher for teaching me how to edit and film. Thanks to Eric Lewis for trusting me to create this show. To my news team, to my co-producers, this is Kat Galliano. Thank you for being like the best assistant news director that I could ever have. You guys, to my news team, you guys are the best thing anyone can ask for. We have grown together. We have won awards. You guys have the passion and the drive to reach for the stars. To our LMC TV family and amazing staff, to Sharon, to Stefan, to Rob, to Matt, to Eric, Thank you for everything, for all that support. Thanks to our partners, our local nonprofits, our local businesses owners, our public officials. I'm leaving now, but I'm leaving the show in good hands. I want to introduce you to Sibila Chipasiwa. She will be taking over and becoming your new LNCTV News Director of the Local Life. Welcome, Sibila.
Welcome.
Thank you, Shayla. Thank you, Kat.
We are proof that interning at LMC TV leads to bigger and better things. Thank you, Shayla, Kat, and Eric for the Local Life. We hope we're making you proud right now.
In November, we held a live broadcast on location at the United Against Hate rally at Harbor Island Park. Yes, and we managed to keep our equipment batteries warm for just long enough that night. The event was organized by local resident Amy Siskind, who's an activist and writer of The List, a week-by-week reckoning of Trump's first year. She is also the president of The New Agenda, a nonprofit for the empowerment of women. The candlelight vigil was in memory of the 11 lives lost at the Tree of Life Synagogue in Pittsburgh on October 27th, and the 2 killed in a shooting at a Kruger supermarket in Kentucky on October 24th.
I've worked with LMC TV since 2012, and it's really changed my life.
I had absolutely no idea how to make a video. And then I had this light bulb go off and I thought, LMC TV, that's the place I need to be.
You know, LMC TV has been amazing. We have been able to dive into our creative ventures, really dive in.
We shot our first half of our film back in May, and it was the most amazing weekend, like one of those moments in my life that I will never forget.
I actually count so much on LMC TV because they do free PSAs, they cover a lot of our news stories.
Without a local newspaper to keep us abreast of what's going on, LMC TV is really our main outlet to know what's happening all throughout our community.
So it's just a small example of how much we can do together and what you could do when you use your resources in your community. And I just encourage everybody to seek LMC TV out, work with their staff, work with their interns because they're incredible and they always show up.
It's kind of crazy because I would go in there and think, how is it that the whole world is not using this incredible resource?
If you miss a school board meeting, a town or village board meeting, if you miss an event that your child was in, such as a band concert, a school play, or a sports event, you can go to lmctv.org, click on the event, and you can watch it at your own convenience.
I'd like to thank you so much, LMC TV, for the opportunities you've given me and for making my life much more sweet to live. So thank you so much.
Thank you for everyone who has funded, generously donated. We are gracious recipients of those donations. Thank you so much, LMC TV. We love you.
What a valuable resource. Please donate today.
We were also present at the Community Resource Center 20th Anniversary Gala recently, and Maral Kathwari brought us the best moments of the night.
Hey guys, I'm Maral Kathwari reporting for the Local Live. I'm here at the Beach Point Club in Mamaroneck, where the Community Resource Center is celebrating 20 years of work done for the community.
We worked really hard with all of our staff members and our volunteers and the event department to pull this through. This is a really special event because of our benefactor, Jonathan Greyer. We were able to do this at Beach Point Club. It's a real special treat for us, but we are really excited to turn 20.
We wanted to thank all our volunteers, people who showed up here just to make sure that this event is a success. I can't wait to celebrate with our donors, with all our amigos, 20 years of serving the community, and they can see the picture, can hear the stories, and see how their donations are making impact in our immigrant community.
And for the viewers at home that don't know, what does Community Resource Center do for people in Mamaroneck and around town?
Community Resource Center empowers and advocates for the new immigrant community, and we've been doing it for 20 years now. Tonight we celebrate our very special Reverend Bill Crawford from Larchmont Avenue Church. He just retired last year, so this is a big day.
There are probably 4,000 families on a yearly basis served by the Community Resource Center. There are 300 DACA youth dreamers in our region neighborhood who have been more than just contacted by CRC, but really helped in so many ways. There have been emergency efforts in the place of the fire in the house on Mount Pleasant Street just within the past couple of years, as well as the flood on the heels of Katrina.
I love being here. As mayor of the village of Mamaroneck, the CRC is a vital organization. Whenever we have a problem or a family that needs help, I turn to the CRC, and I know they'll be well taken care of by caring, kind individuals.
With 1/4 of its population being Hispanic, the village of Mamaroneck followed Ossining and Port Chester in supporting the Green Light NY initiative in January 2017. This year, we invited Ossining Mayor and the Community Resource Center to tell us more about the initiative that advocates for greater access to driver's licenses statewide. Can you give us a little history about the Green Light initiative?
Sure. So like you said, the Green Light Initiative, the Green Light New York initiative is a statewide campaign that is providing access to people to get driver's licenses regardless of immigration status. And obviously that's really important for our communities. So it's a lot of different advocates and a lot of different organizations are involved and elected officials who are trying to get it passed across New York State.
Well, it came to us from community members. We have more than half of our population is Latino, and obviously some of our residents are documented and some are undocumented, and most families, or many families, have mixed documentation status within them. So it's a concern for a large number of people in our community. And so it was brought to our attention as something that we could do to try and be helpful and supportive of people in our community. It's something tangible because immigration policies, and we passed ours in 2016, and obviously there is a change in administration coming in Washington, and that was very jarring for our community. And we're so removed from the decision making about immigration policy on a federal level that we feel really. Our hands are tied. There's so little we can do in a really direct way to help our community members who are experiencing so much fear and really legitimate fear about just what's going to happen to them and their family members, what could happen.
We mentioned a little bit the right to work, the right to economic mobility and upward mobility as well for a lot of families. And at the Worker Center, part of my role is to actually help people look for work and become job ready. So it's a little bit of workforce development. And part of my challenge there is that a lot of people physically cannot get to those jobs. When you look at it from just a labor and economic perspective, it makes complete sense because you will pass more licenses, which is fees to the DMV. You will get more people insured, which is money to the insurance companies. You will ensure that everyone is insured, that basically give no excuse for not having insurance. Which is better for every driver on the road. And you also, more importantly, allow freedom in a country that is so proud of the freedoms that we enjoy that other countries may not enjoy.
Back in October, LMC TV staff traveled upstate to Schenectady for the Alliance for Community Media Northeast Conference and Trade Show. We definitely came away having learned more about thriving in today's ever-changing media landscape.
LMC TV staff headed to Schenectady last week for the Alliance for Community Media Northwest Region Conference. Rolling in deep, we attended a trade show with the latest technology and participated in 2 panels to see how to cut costs and how to survive in the future. The youth seem to be the most common answer to this conundrum.
If I'm out in the woods and I'm facing a bear, right? And I'm looking at this bear, 2 things are happening. One, either I'm going to run or I'm gonna stand there and I'm gonna face this bear. But everything is going through, you know what I'm saying? I'm trying to figure it out. I'm sweating, my palms are sweaty. I don't know whether I'm scared or it's adrenaline going through. And then all of a sudden, while I'm facing this bear, right? Somebody pops out the bushes with an algebra question.
Thank you.
Hey, look, I'm not thinking about the algebra question. I'm thinking about the bear.
That's right.
That's what I'm thinking about. That's my focus. How can I focus on an algebra question or anything that you want me to focus on and I got a bear in front of me? That's important. So I deal with the bear. That's what I deal with. I'm not dealing with the algebra question. We can talk about that later because atmosphere and culture plays a part in how kids respond. If the atmosphere is conducive for kids to respond, they will. Even if it's during time, even if they don't respond right away. But kids eventually will respond.
All work and no play makes LMC TV a dull staff. With the Found Footage Festival giving us some laughs and a jam-packed 2 days, it helped along the way to make new friends, to see some old faces, and to take in the historic Proctor's Theater in the Electric City.
The Federal Communications Commission's further notice of proposed rulemaking on cable franchising was published in the Federal Register on October 15. The proposed rule may put funding for local community access stations, including LMC TV, at risk.
Now, Mr. Rogers is certainly one of the best things that's ever happened to public television. We in public television are proud of Fred Rogers, and I'm proud to present Mr. Rogers to you now.
All right, Rogers, you got the floor.
My first children's program was on WQED 15 years ago, and its budget was $30.
Do you narrate it?
I'm the host, yes. And I do all the puppets, and I write all the music, and I write all the scripts.
Well, I'm supposed to be a pretty tough guy, and this is the first time I've had goosebumps for the last 2 days.
Well, I'm grateful, not only for your goosebumps, but for your interest in our kind of communication. Could I tell you the words of one of the songs which I feel is very important?
Yes.
And think this song. I can stop when I want to, can stop when I wish, can stop, 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 anytime. And what a good feeling to feel like this, and know that the feeling is really mine. Know that there's something deep inside that helps us become what we can. For a girl can be someday a lady, and a boy can be someday a man.
I think it's wonderful. I think it's wonderful.
As of December 17th, the FCC received more than 3,400 public comments on this proposed rule. The deadline for comments has passed, but there is still time to contact your members in the House of Representatives to express concern on the cable franchising proposal. For more information on what you can do, please visit www.allcommunitymedia.org.
LMC Cast.
The whole system is fine. All right, cool.
I definitely would recommend doing podcasts if you are someone that likes to get something off the chest, or you want to just talk about anything in the world that just might interest you. Podcast here at LMC TV is amazing.
I hope you're listening out there.
– 2018 saw an uptick in hate crimes in the news, especially right here in Westchester County. On a show that highlighted anti-Semitism in May, Maura Collin interviewed Claire Heyman, a Holocaust survivor.
My parents were away in 42, and we happened to be by Siemens till 43. So in February 43, they collected us. They came and took us to Auschwitz.
Now, they took you in cattle cars. It was not luxury travel.
They took us to the train in cattle cars. And
crowded in.
We could only grab what we had. We couldn't take any belongings, just what you had on your body and what you grabbed. And that's how we went in the cattle car. And
about 2 days like
2
this.
days. In 1943, it was, I think it was February, they sent us to Auschwitz.
Now, when you got to Auschwitz, the first thing that happened...
They collected was terrible. The trains, the SS was saying left and right. Who went to the left on the truck went to the crematorium. We had no idea.
To the crematorium?
We had no idea. My sister was tired. I said, no, we stay together. If she would have gone to the truck, she would have gone straight to the crematorium. In the meantime, the prisoners told us in Jewish we should walk. That means if you walk, you go into the camp.
And in the camp?
And the camp became... girls stick together, and they took our belongings away already when we got off the cattle car. So we came into Auschwitz, they took us to a room, and they took our clothes, and they tattooed our number.
And on your tattoo, there's a triangle.
The triangle is a notice that you are Jewish, because they have different numbers for other prisoners.
And you became known by your number, not by your name.
You had no more name. You only were called by numbers. That was our name.
Mamaroneck Village and LMC TV hosted the 3rd annual Tiki Invasion back in July at the Harbor Island Park, which was another successful event in the books. Here are the highlights.
Tiki party here at Harbor Island on the beach. Beautiful, the sun is out. We're gonna have a great time. LMC TV and Rec Department sponsoring this amazing event.
Yes, and we want to thank the Village of Mamaroneck and also the Parks Department for doing a wonderful job keeping our beaches clean and beautiful. So thank you, Village of Mamaroneck. And thanks everybody for showing up tonight. It's gonna be a great event.
Aloha.
Aloha.
So it's the 3rd time LMC TV has partnered with the Rec Department for this event. Yeah, what are your thoughts?
Oh wow, let's do it for another 3 decades, right? Let's do this.
It's very nice. They have a bunch of snacks and games and the movie, and they had a magician, so yeah.
This is the best partnership I've seen in a really long time, and I think it's mutual. I think the families had a lot of fun today, and these movies are just awesome. So it's just such a great partnership, and let's just keep doing it. Let's keep enjoying the beach in the summer. You know, great movies in the sand. I don't really know anybody else that does it in the sand, so I think that's kind of cool. You know.
How about everyone else? Did you guys have fun?
Yeah! We love the local live!
Yes, we love the local live. Thank you, LMC TV.
This was one of the many segments by interns and volunteers here at LMC TV. Here's a shout out to just a few, including Hugo Sandoval, who edited the Sticky Innovation piece, Megan Gill, who was a recent intern from Purchase College. We'd like to acknowledge our dedicated volunteers, Louis Simon, Sean Kelly, Andrew Gordon, just so many who help in the control room and in the studio. Many thanks to the part-time employees who record municipal and school board meetings and various community events, even breaking news, and the volunteer anchors and reporters who have given their time and talent to be our talent. Thank you all for all that you do. The Local Live will not be here without you.
Stephen Astis interviewed our sports program manager, Bob Moretti, about all the exciting opportunities that we have here at LMC TV for those interested in the varsity sports program.
LMC TV provides, we cover dozens upon dozens of varsity sports games at Mamaroneck and Rhinebeck high schools. Usually somewhere in the 70s to up to 80 games per year we'll cover across most, if not all, team sports. Full games, and then we also we'll cut highlights and put plays of the week up on our social media. So we have announcers and we have camera people, and they're the ones who are out there framing the shots and commentating the action. And it's really a great opportunity for, as I said, young people in the area to get experience in the field. Sports is a tough field to crack professionally, so any experience that you can get, that you can put a reel together, it's going to give you a leg up on the competition.
I'm curious, Rob, I've been with the program for several years now. Where did it get its start within LMC TV, and how long have you been with the program?
Well, the program started back in the fall of 2008 as a pilot program.
Based
originally off of the Mamaroneck baseball team winning the state championship that previous spring. And the local community wanted, that kind of spurred them to want sports coverage, so they went to LMC TV, and budgets had to be approved and all that, and they hired Seth Rothman to head the entire operation. And then I was one of Seth's first part-time hires. The first game was Mamaroneck's homecoming game in September 2008, and then they did a select number of games throughout that school year, culminating in another state championship baseball run from Mamaroneck. And we were up in Binghamton for that. And then from there, it was a full program after that. It was approved to continue. So we've been running with that ever since.
And Seth is now at the Yes Network.
He is. He's jumped onto the professional ranks, and he's doing a tremendous job there. And we miss him, but we see him once in a while.
Yeah.
And I came on full-time in 2012. So I've been here since.
Bye-bye.
Hi. Hoping for a crisp breeze to help keep you alert. Oh, he took a sip of water too. That'll probably help.
You were probably going to turn down the radio too, so you could focus, right?
Probably okay isn't okay.
Right?
If you see a warning sign, stop and call a cab, a car, or a friend.
I think the water line is what really drove it home. I blew on him.
Before Election Day, Mara Carlin explored bipartisan understanding with the Better Angels organization. The group offered tips on how to navigate political conversations, a topic which could be useful at your holiday gatherings.
Well, the most recent workshop that we helped to organize was last Saturday. And after Ken and I spent many months recruiting, which is quite a challenge.
I know.
We were very fortunate in having total parity, equal number of Republicans and an equal number of Democrats. And the moderators, as Ken said, are skilled and they are trained in facilitation. And the protocol that is used is very scripted. So there's a choreography around what happens in the workshop. People first get to introduce themselves, explain why they're there. Then they move into two groups where they talk about stereotypes about themselves that the other has, and the kernel of truth that there might be to that stereotype. Following that, they come together again and they do what's called a fishbowl exercise, which is a group dynamic exercise where one group sits in the center and responds to certain questions, while the other group, all they do on the outer circle is to listen. And then the process is reversed. And then there's a wrap-up. So our goal is that...
So there's not a conclusion?
The conclusion is that they do have concluding statements that they make at the end in terms of what were their takeaways, what did they learn. And that is often very insightful.
People who might want to learn more about Better Angels or get involved with Better Angels, where they go and what they do.
Well, we have the website, which is www.better-angels.org. Please,
don't forget the hyphen.
Yes, very important. There's a wealth of information. And actually, to Ken's previous point about how to have these conversations during the holidays, there's an entire scripted guidance around that.
Yes.
And all this is for public consumption at no cost. So please read up about us. Please take advantage of the materials. Use them to your advantage. And again, become a member. I do have to say that because it's just $10 for the year, and you are getting way more than $10 worth of value in terms of.
And I like the slogan you used on your flyer, "Let's get America to relate again."
Larchmont and the town of Mamaroneck celebrated a year of food composting at the Larchmont Down to Earth Farmers Market in September. Earlier this year, the two municipalities earned an Eco Award from Westchester County for the initiative. Since launching in the fall of 2017, Larchmont and town participants have composted close to 50 tons of food waste.
Hello, today we are here at the Down to Earth Farmers Market here in Larchmont, New York on the first day of fall, and we are surrounded by a community passionate about composting, culture, and culinary delights.
Foodies and farmers alike have gathered at the Larchmont Metro North parking lot turned local market, all in celebration of the 1-year anniversary of the community's composting initiative. In place of cars, corn husks, green beans, and carrots have taken over the parking lot, with volunteers like Karen Kaur teaming up to promote locally sourced food and the importance of eliminating its waste.
And what does it mean to you to have that zero waste policy?
It's unbelievable. I'm so amazed, and I'm incredibly grateful that this has happened, that we've got this collaboration with the village mayor and town supervisor, that we've got houses of worship, schools, we've got all the community members involved. And over 120 volunteers have been involved in this in one way or the other in the past year. And that to me is amazing. So it tells you the kind of community support for this.
In an effort to further raise awareness of food composting, Town Supervisor Nancy Seligson and Larchmont Mayor Lorraine Walsh shared their thoughts on what this program means to them.
It's very exciting to be celebrating the first year anniversary of our food waste composting program. We're really proud of it. It's been an incredibly popular program, and I couldn't have done it without these two women here.
Right away, we thought it was a great idea. It was, sustainable. We're all about trying to get to a zero waste community, if possible. Of course, it all relies mostly on the volunteers because it was really easy. All we had to do was say yes. But then we had to find people in the community who were dedicated and who would volunteer and get the whole thing up and running.
In just 1 year, Larchmont's composting program has removed over 50 tons of food from the community's waste stream by turning it into nutrient compost, inspiring families like David and his sons to also do their part.
It's actually not my first time composting. I'm a failed backyard composter who've tried for a year. I've given up. I'm apparently terrible at it, so I'm participating in the community composting program. I'm hoping to see Mamaroneck and Larchmont make this mandatory. I'd like to see everybody participate and hopefully avoid extra food waste.
How do you feel about being here today with your dad, helping him out composting?
When I learn about compost, I feel really good. I just want to just do more and more and more.
And what could be the next steps for this composting community?
The sky's the limit. We're going to expand the program. Ultimately, we really need to reduce how much trash and even recycling we're putting into the system. We want to be sustainable.
This has been Aurora Folks reporting for The Local Live.
And last but not least, we have the highlights from LMC TV's 28th Annual Award Night.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to LMC TV's Annual Award Night.
This award holds a special place in my heart, as it was the first award that I won 7 years ago when I started volunteering here at LMC TV. it's fitting that I would be presenting this award on my last award night before leaving for college.
It's been a great experience, and I'm just very happy to keep growing with the team. So thank you.
I'm going to try everything I can to always stay here, and this is like my second family. Thank you so much.
I'm completely blown away by the work that's done by everyone in this organization. So I just want to take a moment, and if we can collectively say thank you to everyone whose work is on this screen tonight.
Did you hear the one about the rabbi and the minister who walked into a diner and the waiter said, "Is this a joke?" It was not a joke. Ours is a show based on a friendship and a shared sense of justice, morality and faith, and how to get that ketchup out of the bottle.
The gift of what we do is we eat together and share a friendship together. 'Cause tramps like us, baby, we were born to run. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
We love hearing from our viewers. Please send all emails, comments, inquiries, news tips, pictures, and even videos to thelocallive@lmctv.org.
Remember, if you miss Thursday's live broadcast, you can catch replays of The Local Live twice a day on this channel and find story clips on our YouTube channel.
And be sure to follow us on Facebook, where we stream live every Thursday night, and keep an eye out for some interesting content. We are going to use and abuse this platform next year.
Thank you for watching The Local Live. I'm Sebastian Hall.
And I'm Sevilla Chipaziwa. Thank you so much again for your support throughout the year, and we wish you a happy new year.
So, happy 2019!